Alrighty guys, we're going to show you how to easily wire a place, okay? You see I got my spool on the ladder here, okay? Now I just feed it all through the walls. If you want to take a look in here, I'm going to feed one strand all the way around the wall, right? And this is where my junction box is going to go. And it'll be BX to the junction box, and then because it's just regular wood framing, I can go with this on the inside. Or Romex or whatever they call it. Okay, so your outlet box. Rule of thumb for outlet boxes is always hammer length above, right? So we got to make it from here to here, right? So all we do is, okay, well, actually here I'll be having an outlet right about there. So here I'm not too worried about it, because what I'll do is I'll cut and I'll be like that. And rule of thumb, what you got coming into the box and out here to put your outlet, that much length. You should always have that extra. So you got to come into the box and then you got to come back out of the box to go to the next outlet. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to be having, let's say, an outlet here, right? So instead of doing the hammer thing, and I'm still going to leave myself plenty of room, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this loop, I'm going to pull more through, I'll show you. So I'm going to pull more through. That ladder falling over? Just take it slow. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to pull more through. All the way. Right? So my outlet, let's say we'll put the outlet on this one here. I'm just going to pull enough through that I can make it to the floor. Right? So if I was to come across like that, put my staples here, I want enough that I can hit the floor with the loop. There, we just want to be able to hit the floor with the loop. Coming across. Oh, I don't want to pull too much there. I should have actually stapled that off at the end, but that'll be enough that I can cut it, I can feed it through the box, and I'll still have that much length coming out for the throughput. You're coming into the outlet, then you're going back, and you're running just in a series all the way to the next one. So the next side, let's say I'll put an outlet here, right? So I'm just going to do the exact same thing. Pull it through. It's just spooling on the ladder. And yeah, let's say right here we'll have an outlet. So we're going to bring enough to come down to the ground. We'll have enough here to come across and basically down to the ground. We're going to cut it here, staple, come through our box, and we still have that much length to deal with on either end. So we got 1, 2. We'll put another one here on this wall. Let's say here. And this is like a really simple way of doing wiring. It's definitely a time saver. And like so. That's plenty. Okay, so now we know we're going to have an outlet here. And I also want to put an outlet on this wall. So I've got all my holes drilled. So I'm just going to pull enough through here. I'll just fold this up, send it through. actually, this is going to be, I don't want to go too low with this one because I have other plans for this wall. So I want the outlet just slightly higher. So pull a little bit more. And for what I want, that should be enough because I'm going to be slightly higher than your average hammer. So that should be enough there. So we'll be able to just snip there, tie them off here, and then we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 outlets run in a series. You're allowed up to 8, but always remember what you're actually running. I know what I'm running in here, so I'm good with one 15 amp breaker for this part of the office. But what I'll be doing is I'll be running 3-wire BX cable to the junction box on the corner of this wall, and let's say your red and black wire that come out of the BX cable will be on 2 separate 15 amp breakers. One for this strand and then another for microwave and refrigerator. And that way I don't blow what's in this room and what's in the actual office, like computers and stuff like that. So I'll have a 15 amp separately for the mini fridge and the microwave, and 15 amp for the room itself. So, and that's it. Good as gold. Cheers, guys. Make it easy. Okay, guys, we're back on this wiring here, and you can tell how I've done it here. I'll put a couple more lower, just above the box. I put the boxes 16 inches up. So those will get nailed right there like so. So when putting the outlet in, actually I always use left side for exit, like the follow through, and it'll go all the way to the next one. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to properly wire outlet. Sorry about that, guys. So to strip back your wires, always just cut up about 1 inch through the center, cut up 1 inch on the exterior sheathing, and pull it back. That way there's no chance of actually cutting the sheathing on your wiring, okay? So we'll pull it just like so. We got these through, so I'm just going to tighten up the hold down for the wire here. Make sure I got enough to staple on the side. Keep it nice and clean. Like so. Alright. That'll be good there. Beauty. Don't have to be too tight. Just it's got to be loose, right? If you go too tight, you take a chance of actually cutting into the sheathing. So we'll just separate here, and we're just going to pull this back a little further if we can, like so, and snip it, making sure not to even go near your actual power wire. Strip that back. Cut that like so. And now you got your exposed wires. As I said, I always go on the right side as the input, the left side is the output, depending which way in the string you're going, that way or this way. So, and now, and I've got more than enough for doing this, the length out, okay? So I'm actually gonna just cut it. so I don't have too much. So I'll cut it like so. Like so. And wiring in the way. There we go. And like so. Now, give me a second, I gotta get some morettes. Okay, so I've got my morettes here. I'm gonna strip back just an inch, number 14 wire. So we're gonna go in 14 slot here. I'm just gonna go about half an inch, let's say. Okay, like so. They make a better tool for this, but this is what I have. And like so. So, we've got all our wires separated. What you can do is yank this up like so. And twist your ground together. After you get your ground together, screw it into the ground, which the screw is missing. Give me a second. Okay, so got the big flat ground screw. So we're just gonna buzz that in. We're gonna slide these grounds onto that. Like so. Beauty. And tighten that down. Okay, so we're grounded. We're just gonna, since that's twisted together and actually both wires are actually under the grounding screw, we're going to snip this off, just one side, right? And we're going to make sure this is tucked back and left out slightly like so. Now we actually have a piece just this long, and how I said before, you just bring your snip up here about an inch and just strip these back and out like that. Okay, now we're only using the black and the white, and I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna strip the ends about ½ inch. Now, as remember, in household wiring, black is hot. It's not a car battery where your red would be hot or your black would be ground. Your black is always hot. So what we're going to do now is we take our moret, we're going to take both our blacks, your in and your out, and your extra, and we're going to twist these together. If it'll stop arguing with me. There we go. Now we're just going to give them a little bit of a twist. Now we're going to stick our moret on. Like so. Now we're going to stuff that back in there. Yeah, videoing, dude. Okay, we're going to stuff that back in there. Like so. And now we're going to do the same with the white wire. And put a Moret. And we're going to stuff that in like so. A little bit of a pain in the butt, but you can do it. Now, what we have is our 2 wires and our ground for our actual outlet. So, to do that, you only get a 1/2 inch. All you have to do is 1/4 turn. That's all you got to do. You don't have to wrap it around, nothing. Just 1/4 turn like so. Put your black on the brass side and your white on the silver side. Could you grab me a green Robbie? Yep. And now we'll go white on the down side here. That way both are actually powered. These tabs aren't broken off. Spin that around like so. And it's easy as that. And now all we got is our ground. As I said, 1/4 turn. And voila. And that's how to properly wire an outlet. We got no chance of stripped wires because we actually pull it out. And that is a properly wired outlet. And then you just continue on the exact same way to your next one, your next one, next one, and this is the end of my line here, and the outlet's actually going to be higher, so that will be the end of my line. Alrighty guys, and before you can get it hooked up to the actual box, you have to have it inspected. Alright, cheers guys.